Guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new to my channel, please do well to subscribe and share as well. Thank you. And in this video tutorial, I will be teaching you guys how to cut a straight cut skirt. So I won't be using the pattern paper because this is quite simple. Yeah, quite easy. So, and I will also be making a baby dress. But first of all, we will go ahead with the straight cut skirt. Let's begin. Now, to make a straight cut skirt, you need probably 1.5 yards of fabric. But if you're on a bigger size, 2 yards would be enough. And here, this is a new fabric, nothing has been taken out of it. So the measurements I'm using, 1.5 yards of fabric would be enough to make the straight cut skirt. So we'll just begin by drafting or measuring and cutting out as well. Now I like folding the right side inwards so that there won't be any dirt on the fabric after cutting. So this is it. The measurements we are using, the waist is 30 and the hip is 43. Now the full length is 44. So to begin, we start from the waist. Now let's rule out a straight line as our starting line. So we'll use this as our starting line. Now let's take the horizontal measurements first. Now the waist is 30 inches. Now 30 inches divided by 4. This is in fold. And you also get the second fold, that's the back piece. This is the front piece that we're cutting. 30 inches divided by 4, you have 7.5. 7.5 there, and I would also add my stitching allowance of about 1 inch. Okay, now let's use 1.5 because we will be turning this fabric with a lining. So in the lining will take about 0.5 inch. Then the remaining 1 inch will be sewing or stitching allowance. So here we have extra 1.5 inches. Now let's get our hip measurement. Now vertically from our waist to our hip for the client here is 9 inches. So that is what we are going to use. Here is 9 inches. Now the hip is 43. 43 divided by 4, you have it here. Now I like using my tape for easier division if I don't have a calculator with me at the moment. So I'll use my tape and divide it. Now what we have here is 10.75. So here we're measuring 10.75 as our hip measurement. Now the 10.75 will also add a 1.5 inches allowance we added to the waist side to the hip side as well. So 10.75 plus 1.5 inches for turning and also for stitching allowance. Now we have gotten the waist and the hip measurement. Now let's go down to the hemline. Now here we'll take the vertical measurements. Like I said earlier, before while starting the video, the length of this skirt is 44, and here you have 44 almost at the end of the fabric. You have 44 inches right here. I hope you can see. Let me shift this so you can see it clearly. This is 44 inches we have right here. Use your ruler to make sure you are getting the exact measurement. Now here is 44 inches that we have here, and to get that shape of a pencil on skirts, you minus 6 from your hip measurements, then you divide it by 4. I hope you understand. To get that effect that makes it pencil-like and curvy, minus 6. Your hip measurements minus 6, then you divide whatever you get by 4. That gives you what you are going to use as the measurement for the downside. Now the hip is 43. You minus 6 from 43. That should be about 37. 37 divided by 4. That will give you the measurement you will use for the hemline. Now let's divide 37 by 4. I'm using my tape to do the division to make it easier since there's no calculator here. Now what we have is 9.25. Now 9.25 here is on this line, so we are taking it 9.25. Now you also add the 1.5 inches allowance for turning of the lining and also stitching allowance. Now impute our 1.5 inches allowance here. Then from the waistline, use a curve to connect to the hip. Then from the hip, use your ruler and connect it back to the hemline. That gives you the exact shape of a pencil skirt. So from the hip, connect it down to the hemline. Now this chalk is big, so I had to adjust my hand so I will not take another measurement into it. Now this is what we have after drafting our skirts. Now this is the front piece of the skirt, the straight cut skirt. So the next thing I will have to do is to cut out the front piece. Then I'll fold the fabric in two again, place the front piece on it with my zipper allowance, then trace it out. That's just so simple.